No need for shoes, we got fishing news, interviews, and reviews. Forget the drama, we're live from the casa.
Probably not the last time you'll ever hear that intro, but from now on, we are not live from the casa. We are Get Your Fish On. So today, I welcome you to the first episode of the Get Your Fish On podcast video show. And we'll try to get back on to doing these. We're going to continue to have angler news and all sorts of good stuff. But today, we'll talk about the things on the side. We'll talk about the new name. Why? Why did we change the name? What in the hell are you thinking? I know. We'll talk about the National Professional Fishing League, their breaking news. We'll talk about the Elites, how well they've done here recently. We'll talk about the Major League Fishing departures. Now that we're in the off season for Major League Fishing, who's going to go back and why? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Take a Kid Fishing. We hear it every time we say a video. I put a video up. You always hear me, Take a Kid Fishing. So we're going to give some props to our boys at Hometown Heroes Alliance. We'll talk about that. And then last but not least, we'll talk about some YouTube creators that you should go check out. And that's what's happening on today's show. Of course, get on here. Get your whiteboard on, yes. Get on here. Check us out on YouTube, on Instagram, on all that stuff. Starting next week, the interviews are already lined up. We'll talk to Al McCullough next week from the National Professional Fishing League. He is our interview. I don't think he's ready for the interview, but we're going to go a little tough on him. That's the God's honest truth. I've got some hard-hitting questions that I want to know how it's going to work out for this new league, but we're going to talk about that next. So I've had many people ask me, why the name change? What happened? If you've known the Fishing Florida Radio for years, the problem with Fishing Florida Radio is that people in the industry only think that we talk about Florida fishing. And quite honestly, there's way too many people that get on and say, oh, I know, I've heard you. You're Steve from Florida Fishing Radio. It's never been Steve from Fishing Florida Radio. And Mike and I had talked about it for months, that this is a transition that even though we have branded the Fishing Florida Radio name for years with Boudreaux, myself, and Mike, and even when Les comes in and helps, it was time to make a change. And this change is going to be drastic. This is a humongous change. This whole thing you see over here and back here, this isn't how the show is going to look. This is how the show looks now as we start to prepare and get ready for our next journey as Get Your Fish On. We think that the name kind of talks and means more to us because really deep down we, like I say, you'll see on some videos coming up, like I say constantly, we are anglers first. We're just like you. We love the outdoors as much as you do. If you listen to this show or listen to the podcast or do any of that stuff, we are anglers just like you. Maybe we're a little more technically savvy than you, but doesn't mean you can't do what we do or do a video podcast or do videos on YouTube. It's not that hard. I mean, editing might be a nightmare, but exclude that. It's not that hard. Let me say I'm sorry that I'm a little sweaty. Just got back from swimming practice, and it's hot as something else out there. I was going to swear. And you want to know what? Here's the great thing about doing this video podcast and changing our name. We can swear on here now. We can say whatever we want. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to swear, but you might hear them every now and then. And that's just, we're adults. I'll try to tone it down and not. But getting back to the new name. The new name is, we've got stickers, we've got hats, there's going to be some shirts, there's going to be a whole bunch of branded stuff that we've got in the works. And Mike and I are really excited about this new venture and what we're doing. There's going to be some changes in how the overall look and feel of this is. So there'll be some changes in personnel, people coming in and out, but I can tell you, I think the core group of Mike and I will be here forever. And that kind of scares the living shit out of me. But it is what it is. It's a move forward, and Mike is in the process of doing a whole bunch of stuff, and Tackle Webs is just blowing up. I mean, if you haven't gone and looked at Tackle Webs, something is wrong, because They are blowing up. They actually have a waterproof bag, a 30-liter and a 20-liter. They haven't really announced it, but if you went on their website, they've got a pre-sale on them ahead of time, and you're going to save $10 on each one of them. So if you're interested in one, go to there. Go to tacklewebs.com. Yes, I'll be wearing fancy shirts. Well, me probably not, Hammer. I mean, you know me better than most people. I'll probably have a fancy shirt. Truthfully, I didn't have a fancy shirt on. It was soaking wet from sweat, and that's why I put on a nice shirt. And really, quite honestly, the Hook shirts are fabulous. I've got a whole wardrobe of Hook stuff these days. So anyway, the new name is hopefully going to move us forward in what we're doing. Try to make it more so that it is, so it's more fishing oriented and it can be brought out amongst all the stuff. I am one of the non-swearing crowd. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try not to swear, Craig, to be honest. But I swore already. But that's just life. I'm going to do my best not to. So the new name is going to have lots of new stuff that is going to be incorporated into this. The channel, we're trying to grow the channel as much as possible, the YouTube channel, and do our best we can. So there'll be some more videos and some other stuff that we've got planned. But you're going to see an obvious change in how this feel goes over the next several months. I'm going to try to keep doing these weekly. There'll be one for sure next week because we're going to, like I said, we're going to talk to Al McCullough of the National Professional Fishing League. But we're going to try to continue to do what we do. Get anglers interviews. We're going to talk to our sponsors, talk to our friends, see what is going on in the industry, and just have fun. And at some point in time, this won't be just one person. This is going to be, Mike will be here too. So, thank you, Craig. So that is why. I hope you guys don't mind the name change. I know there were some people that were unhappy with it, which I didn't understand. But this is a progression that we felt needed to happen with the branding of what we've done. Now it's really tough to because Fishing Florida Radio has been around for 10 or 12 years. That isn't just going to go away. The relationships and everything else that we've built over the years are still going to continue, and it's just a new name. That's all it is. We're not going to really change too much other than cosmetically we're going to change a bunch of stuff. Exclude that. We are going to, it's going to be the same. So get ready. Usually I've enlisted Les to answer questions in the chat while this is going on instead of me answering all of them if possible. But sometimes I will answer them and say hello. If you want a shout out or there's something that you need me to say to everybody else, by all means put it there. It's right there. I can read it and I'll say it for you. So that's how it is. So let's move on to the next topic. See, this is the cool thing. I've done all these graphics. Watch this. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Oh, stupid. There we go. Let's talk about the National Professional Fishing League. If you haven't heard, there's a new league that's coming in and starting next year. A group of individuals have started it off, and they are taking. We had Al on several months ago, but since then, they've now got 75, 85, 90 people that are on the roster, and my question I'm going to ask the question to y'all: Is there room for really a third or a fourth professional fishing league? And by that I mean we have the B.A.S.S Elites on the top. I mean you can say Major League Fishing is the best. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the B.A.S.S Elites are on top still. Then you have Major League Fishing, and then you have FLW. So is there a chance? Do we need a fourth league? Is there room in the industry for a fourth national tournament? There's a few things you need to know before you answer that question. They've got 2 people that are recognized in the industry as the commentators. They've got Luke Duncan from Luke Duncan's Traveling Circus or Low Budget Live. Seems like a great guy, maybe a little narcissistic, a little bit, but does a great podcast that I've listened to several times. And they've also got our boy Fat Cat Newton, high kicking, as color commentators. And here is where I think things are a little weird. I actually think that Luke Duncan and Fat Cat are the most well-recognized people in the whole tour. And that scares me. I've done a list of the 77 or 80 anglers that they've already put out there for everyone to see. And there's a lot of people that nobody knows. And my question to Al, well, I've got a bunch of questions to Al, is how are these guys going to perform against the elites, Major League Fishing, and FLW? I mean, no offense to FLW, there's a lot of guys on FLW that we don't know. Major League Fishing, we all know most of the people because they came from the elites and moved down and moved over. And then the new elites are really just crushing it. I mean, really just crushing it. So my question is, and I'd love to hear it, and I'm going to put this on YouTube, so comment below or comment now, is there room for another fishing league? And mind you, if that league just started, and if you know my phone number, you can text me your answer and I won't say it. Say your name, because I know there's one person that might text me. How do they establish themselves to making them a premier league? When you look at the numbers, they're going to be the most expensive tournament to join next year. They'll be more expensive than FLW. They'll be more expensive than Major League Fishing at this time that I think of. And they are going to be more expensive than the B.A.S.S. Elites. So that's what I'm worried about to start off with. My second thing I'm worried about is that how are the two announcers more important or bigger names than anybody that you have joining your league? There's something to be said. I think it's great that Luke and Fat Cat are joining the team, but they're bigger names than the anglers. And in an angler-driven community or fishing tournament, the guys talking about it should not be the guys that are the main people. So I'm not sure that it's nice to be pleasantly optimistic for this. But at some point, are we watering down the group of anglers or taking them away from different things to create this new league? I think that I think it's going to be tough for them. I really do think it's going to be tough for them. And I'm going to tell Al this. I think that they need to get somebody on that league that's a stud. I mean, there's some guys that have won several $100,000. Let me get my list over here. Where the hell did the list go? Don't tell me I lost it. I did lose it. Oh, it's right here. Sorry. There's a couple guys. Charlie Ingram's won $350,000. But I think there's 31 that I counted on this list of 77 that I looked up. All 77, there's 31 of them that have won under $500 on tour. So those guys are people that we've never heard of. So how are they going to make these guys stand out amongst all the others? How are they going to be better than the elites? How are they going to be better than Major League Fishing? How are they going to do better than FLW? The question is there. The questions are there. We need to know the answers. Because right now, the biggest thing they have going for them is high-kicking Fat Cat Newton. And that's the truth. And I think Fat Cat and Luke are going to have a hard time going through this. And I wish him the best because while I don't know Luke at all, Luke is very much against Major League Fishing. And I think that he's going to have to temper down some of his stuff that he says about Major League Fishing because now he is really, really in the media. So we'll see how this National Professional Fishing League goes. But I think they're out to a rocky start. And I want to see him do well. But like I said, on Monday, I have some really, really tough questions for Al. And hopefully, I don't even know. Hopefully it works. Hydration, sorry. Go to mile a minute. Next, let's talk about the B.A.S.S. Elites. Let's talk about the Bass Elites. Holy cow. What can I say about the Elites? I've never thought that I've ever liked smallmouth fishing until these last few tournaments on ESPN. Now, I'm going to say I found some negatives that are just going to keep it real. I love that they're on ESPN2. I love that they're on ESPN2 because there's just nothing else to watch. But the commentators, Tommy and Davey and Zona and all those guys, they need to step up their games a little bit. It's a constant repeat game on the live feed. I don't know if there's too much time that they have to fill, but I'm finding myself listening to the same thing over and over and over. It's almost like, I'm not a fan of this guy, Marty Stone on Major League Fishing. Sometimes, Marty, just shut up. Sometimes your comments are horrible. I know you don't like the Elites. We can get that right off the bat. But just keep it to yourself. That's what I think Luke is going to have problems with. I think he's going to get in there and he's going to say something and it's going to irritate all these people. And really, if Luke didn't have that issue with Major League Fishing months and months ago, how many people would really be listening to that podcast? I never had heard of it until the Major League Fishing issue. So let's get back to the Elites. So first off, the Elites, we need to have maybe interject some new talent, some new people that can talk and pronunciate and know something about the sport or have some insights on what's going on. Other than that, the Bass Elites have actually absolutely killed it. I mean, the Elites are ridiculous. The numbers that they put out for the Elites is second to none. It's in the millions of people who were watching ESPN. I think the first two was like 2.8 or 3.8 million people watched the Bass Elites smallmouth fish. And while the one problem with smallmouth fishing is that they're all pretty much the same size, and it comes down to literally ounces, and they don't ever catch any largemouth. These guys are absolutely crushing it. It is unbelievable to watch. The fishing is ridiculous. It's fish after fish after fish. It's a great tournament schedule, and I am shocked that I'm saying this to y'all. I think that this new area that them going up north and going smallmouth fishing was a brilliant idea. I think it was brilliant. I've never been a smallmouth fan, and right now I can't wait for him to do it again. I really can't wait for him to do it again. Craig asked, do you think a guest host pro as a color guy would help? Thinking Jimmy Houston type. Craig, you are 1,000% perfect. The problem, though, that's going to happen with the national, if you're talking about the National Professional Fishing League, is there's not going to be a lot of guys that are going to want to tie their boat to that possible anchor that might happen. Making a new tournament is really tough. Having people like Major League Fishing did with Kroenke and those guys, they have a lot of money. And that has an influence on what they're doing. And Major League Fishing has had to work through a lot of bugs over 2 years. And as you're going to see in my next topic, I think we're going to see some people leave back to the Elites. So back to the Elites. The Elites are killing it. I think they've got too much time, and having too much time, sometimes you get bored and you continuously repeat yourself. Excluding that, the Elites have been fantastic to watch. I commend them for that northern swing of smallmouth fishing. It has been exceptional. It's been some of the best, other than the commentary, some of the best fishing to watch that I've ever watched in my life. And I've watched years and years of fishing. This has really been absolutely spectacular to watch and to learn. That's the other thing. The crazy thing about this northern swing is you really can learn, even though maybe not those tactics are used down here. I'll be honest, learning and watching how they drop shot and fish and use their electronics constantly. It's something to behold. They are really doing a great job. It's great. There's another tournament coming up here soon, and I think I think Bass is on the climb again. It's hard to say that. It isn't really. I shouldn't say that. It isn't hard to say that. I think last year we all kind of made a mistake with Major League Fishing, with all the guys leaving for Major League Fishing. I think we kind of realized that it was a little scary for us, because what was Bass going to do? Bass has been around for 50 years. I can tell you Bass has succeeded and started to make that climb back up. They are, in my opinion, the premier group out there, premier fishing group, and they're only going to get better, because I think you're going to see some people come back up, and you got Scott Martin and Latimer and all these guys. I think those guys are going to make the elites, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. I'm going to run a quick commercial, if you don't mind, only because, quite honestly, well, maybe I'm not running a commercial. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Where the hell did everything go? Oh, here we go. Get Your Fish On podcast. Let me move this over here. Things are all in the wrong place. Let me move you guys back in front of me. I'm going to run a commercial here, only because I'm thirsty, but we need to do it anyway. So we'll run that new Shimano thing. So I'll be back with Major League departures right after these words.
Introducing Shimano DC Braking. Digital control will provide trouble-free casting to all anglers. DC will greatly improve the casting and therefore the fishing experience for anglers of all skill levels. Make long, accurate casts regardless of wind speed or direction. DC Brake provides trouble-free casting with a wide range of lures by simply adjusting the external dial. Even challenging casts are now within reach for all anglers. The newest innovation in braking systems, Shimano DC Brake.
This is Jim. Jim loves fishing, boating, anything to do with time on the water. Whether on the flats with his buddies, cruising around with the family, or an early morning solo session on his kayak or paddleboard. His time on the water is important and what he looks forward to after a long week of work. But no matter what boat he is on, there never seems to be a good way to keep the gear he needs organized, secure, and easy to get to in a safe place. Until one day, he found out about tackle webs. With tackle webs, Jim can easily add durable, accessible storage to any of his vessels, wherever he needs his stuff. Now, Jim enjoys stress-free days on the water, no matter how much stuff his friends and family brings. Find out how tackle webs can help you at tacklewebs.com.
There you go. Tackle webs. Get your fish on. You haven't seen the new website, you should go to the new website. Phenomenal. Just joking. Okay. Back to Major League Fishing. You know, we haven't been able to talk about Major League Fishing. They've been doing their own thing, taking over FLW, making these super tournaments. Got to say congratulations to Justin Lucas for winning another tournament during the break that we've had. He won that FLW tournament. But I think we're going to see some departures, boys and girls. I think we're going to see some departures. Who? Why? I can't go into the who and why right now. But I know for a fact that the elites are going to open up and allow some guys back. They've said that this group here recently has the elites that are there now don't have to requalify. And I think that some of these guys are over what has happened with Major League Fishing. I think some guys that are trying to qualify for qualify for them through the opens, and I think they have a great chance of doing that. I think that what we're gonna see is the guys that might not qualify, Bass is gonna reach out to them and probably ask them to come back. And this really hurts the brand of Major League Fishing. I thought that last year, yes, I did. I thought last year with Palaniuk and Gerald Swindle going back was, while they might not have, while they got David Dudley and the other dude, they brought in two studs back in. I kind of felt that it was a real slam against them. Not to mention when we talked to Brandon and Gerald at the first Elite in Palatka, we found out that Major League, they felt like there was pressure on them to join Major League Fishing. Now we've had 2 years of it, less tournaments. Let's be honest, we saw Kevin Van Dam in only 5 tournaments this year, 6 tournaments this year. I don't know how the sponsors figure that one out. And then some of the guys went from the Major League Fishing, because they only had the 5 tournaments, over the FLW. And that's where things really get me kind of upset. I felt like them going into FLW was really, really crappy, because the guys on FLW are paying a lot of money to be part of that organization. And when Major League Fishing purchased them, there was going to be Major League Fishing, and then there was going to be FLW. And when Major League Fishing canceled all their tournaments there at the end, then out of nowhere, all these guys, 54, 55 guys, jumped in the FLW. Now, the guys on FLW are trying to make a living. And now they have 54 more guys trying to compete for that money. Now, at first, it was kind of hit or miss. It wasn't a lot of at Major League Fishing guys that made the first one, but the last 2 we've seen completely that the Major League Fishing guys are the cream of the crop, because they won 7 or 8 out of the top 10, I think it was, in the last one. So that takes money out of the guys, the FLW guys' mouths and their families' mouths. I don't like the idea that FLW is that Major League Fishing can just allow those guys to do it. If they're going to do it, make them go all the way. I know they had to do these things because of COVID, but let's be honest, there were a lot of guys that did not go back and fish FLW, and hats off to them. But there are a lot of guys that did, because you want to know what? They got to protect their sponsors. They got to make money. They got to do all sorts of stuff. So I wasn't really happy about that whole thing. And that's just my personal opinion. But I was looking at it as other anglers who are trying to make a living. And I thought it was kind of crappy. That's the God's honest truth. But I think we're going to see, and this is just my guesstimate, 6 or 8 guys leave Major League Fishing, go back to the Elites. 6 or 8. So it'll be fun to speculate and see who is going to be it, because really, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just realized I had notes. So let's start the speculation. Let's also start talking about next year's Red Crest Cup, their big tournament. If you don't know, here's the guys that do not make the Red Crest: Mike Iaconelli, Skeet Reese, Jason Christie, Aaron Martins, Gary Klein, Boyd Duckett, Shaw Grigsby, Randy Howell, Casey Ashley, Ish Monroe, and many others are not going to go work at the Red Crest on the Grand of the Lakes in Cherokee, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here's just my personal opinion right now. Edwin Evers is winning the whole thing. You might as well just give him the Red Crest right now. No offense to my good buddies that are on the Major League Fishing, but if I'm putting my money down right now, my money is on Edwin Evers. It's his home field. In 2016, he ran away on the last day of the Classic to win the best tournament in all of fishing. And it's the exact same body of water. It's the same body. And to make matters worse, it's 1 week earlier than the time he won the Classic in 2016. So he's going to have a fabulous tournament. And no offense, he's it. He's the guy. I was looking at it. Of the top 5, of the top 5 in 2016 Classic, 4 of the 5 didn't qualify. And of the top 10 who fished the 2016 Classic, which is Faircloth, Hackney, Alton Jones, who were in the top 5, they were 15 pounds behind Edwin Evers. 15 pounds! So, Edwin, congratulations. Let me just give you that. Just give him that trophy right now. Just fire that up over to him. Fire it over his nut farm, his pecan farm. And let him go nuts with his new trophy. Because he's gonna have a lot of pressure on him. That's the God's honest truth. He's gonna have a lot of pressure on him to win that tournament. So, Major League Fishing departures and news done. Okay. You have heard me say it in every video I've ever done on YouTube, I think. I say it in every show and everything that we do. It's take a kid fishing, get your fish on. What do I say? Take a kid fishing, get your fish on. We will see you soon. Cheers. There's something to be said about right now. We've had fishing licenses are up, fishing sales are up. Everything, let me put that on, nuts on the nut farm. Everything is up in the fishing industry. So if you don't know about this organization, I want you to find it and at least go like it. If you've ever heard the live show, we talked to our boy Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown is a police officer that works here in Orlando. Jeff has an organization called Hometown Heroes. And they're always trying to raise money to take first responders out fishing or hunting or do something really admirable. And Jeff had my light just went out. Did you see that? Hold on. Technical difficulties. The battery died on the damn light. Let's see if this works. Holy cow. Don't I look like an alien right here? There. Start talking about Jeff and my shit dies. Okay, so Jeff has an organization called Hometown Heroes. Well, they were going to they were doing a fundraiser to go over to the Barramundi place, which is owned by Byron and his wonderful wife, his beautiful wife. They were actually, the Barramundi fished the pits. Barramundi Outback, Osceola Outback was donating the whole place to Hometown Heroes, and we all bought tickets, and we were going to go out there and fish. And then of course COVID happened, and they had to cancel it. But instead of there was an opportunity that you could either allow them to keep your money as a donation, or you could request it back. I thought, of course, I'm going to let them. I'm going to give it to them because I think it's a great cause. Now, of course, I wanted to take Thomas, and I wanted to take some of his friends from swimming, Reed and his father, with me out to Osceola Outback to go fish Barramundi. And that was the goal. And it was really going to be. It was going to be fabulous. It was going to be fabulous, especially for $20. You can't go out there for $20. It's really expensive to go out to fish this. And if you don't know about Osceola Outback, it's the only place in the country, in the United States of America, where you can catch barramundi. And barramundi is like a saltwater. It is like a freshwater snook. They are fierce. They jump. They attack, and it's big pits of barramundi. It's not fair fishing because it's a stock pond, but for young kids like my son and Reed, who is 8 or 9 years old, this was going to be was going to be a day to remember, experience of a lifetime. So when they said they had to cancel, we were kind of, it kind of stunk, to be honest. But I said keep the money, and then Byron and his wonderful wife donated a brand new rod and reel to raffle off. And as luck would have it, I won it. Now, Reed is a serious fisherman. He loves fishing. His dad is always taking him fishing. They were going saltwater fishing. They were going freshwater fishing. I had told Reed that in the process, if I happen to get my name pulled, I will give the rod to you. And lo and behold, we won. So I want to thank Osceola Outback at Barramundi, Fish the Pits, Byron, and his beautiful wife for the donation of the rod in reel. It was a Shimano 4000 Stratic and a Terramar rod, a wonderful combination. And I also want to thank Jeff Brown for putting the whole thing together. And I know he was disappointed that they couldn't do the Fish the Pits. And hopefully, I'm really hoping that at some point, like I call it, I'm fishing on a budget all the time. That's just the truth. I can't. I'd love to go out there and film shows out there, or film and show you guys, put it on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. But it's impossible to pay for fishing, then come home and spend the amount of time it takes to edit these things down. There's a lot of time into it. But I want to say thank you to Hometown Heroes Alliance. I don't want to go off on that. Thank you to Jeff and his wonderful wife, Pam, for putting the whole thing together. Thank you to Byron and his wonderful wife. If you want to know more, you can go to Osceola Outback, I think, or Fish the Pits, one of those two.com. You can look it up, Barramundi Fishing here in Florida. Can't beat it. So thank you to them. And also congratulations to Reed. And here's why I said this is about taking a kid fishing. I donated the rod and reel to Reed and his family and his dad, so that they had, not that they had bad gear to start off with. They probably had as good gear as I had, but it's just brought this young man even happier about going fishing. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. Every time I see him, he's got the biggest smile on his face, and he's constantly saying thank you. So I say thank you to Byron and his wife, and Jeff and Pam. Thank you. And Reed, I hope you enjoyed the fishing rod. Okay. I need to put one thing up. Where is it? The AIG banner. If you guys haven't seen, if you're looking for insurance, AIG, American Integral Insurance, they are the best of the best. You will not be unhappy. They do it all. If you're looking for boating insurance or whatever it is, go look them up. I should have had this up the whole time. And I didn't. I forgot about it. So check them out. I'll leave that up. Last but not least, let's go into YouTuber creator shout-outs. Friday, special day. I'm going fishing. I'm taking Topwater Johnny fishing over at my pond across the street. We're going to do some topwater fishing. I don't think he knows yet, but he's got a competition. I mean, that's just how I roll. You don't come to my house and think that you're going to not have a competition. The only person that does that is the Hammer. He and I are best buddies. Anyway, so check out Topwater Johnny's channel. Of course, check out Jeff Hammer Fishing. You want to see some great stuff, Mosquito Lagoon fishing. And I should say, I've had a little bit of influence on Jeff recently. And I love the influence. Jeff is now talking to the camera. And I love it. I love it. The episodes are so much better because you get to hear his thoughts on what happened before fishing, what happened after fishing, and how his day went. So check out Jeff Hammer Fishing for sure. Go like it, subscribe, be part of his team. Of course, check out Hank Snow Outdoors. We do compete sometimes, but not much because we're too good friends to do that. And really, we end up sitting talking too much instead of fishing, Hammer. That's the problem. I'm also fishing on Monday. It looks like I am fishing with Hank Snow. Hank Snow and I, Hank Snow Outdoors, are going to do. We actually had a competition before. I filmed it. Didn't go very well, to be honest. That's the truth. We went and fished his one of his spots. What does he call it? I don't even know what he calls it right off the top of my head. But we didn't have a really good day. We caught 3 fish total. I caught 2. He caught 1, so I was the winner. Imagine that. But it wasn't a lot of action, and of all things, the GoPro was giving me a problem, so I didn't make a video of it. Monday, we're making a video of it. It's part 2. So Hank and I will be going fishing at Lake EA because he wants to be on my stomping grounds. And I can tell you right now, hold on. because I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch of them. That is what I'm using. That is it. I'll be using the new Stealth Blade. Bladed jig from Z-Man. Yes, sir. So check out Hank Snow Outdoors. We'll do a video. I'll probably film it and do a bunch of stuff. So check that out. Check out Jason Beck Fishing. A great friend of the show, and he's always good. But here is my new one for you to check out this week. This guy's been on fire lately. He does unboxings. He does a whole bunch of stuff. He's blowing up the game. I mean, I'm at a slow pace to do these things, and it pisses me off. But this guy's taking it to the next level. Shields Outdoors. He does a lot of unboxings, but he really gives you an honest review of what's in there. He isn't sponsored by Monster Bass or Lucky Tackle Box or Mystery Tackle Box or whatever box he's opening. So he gives you an honest review of what's inside that box. And it's nice to see because there's way too many, unfortunately, there's way too many people that when you get sponsored, it's hard to say something negative about that sponsor. I mean, I could go into a whole show about sponsorship. I know this firsthand. I've had people that said, "Oh, if you like this, then we're not going to sponsor you." I mean, it's ridiculous. And I try to be as honest as possible in all of the videos that we do. I try to look at it from a different perspective. So go check out Shields Outdoors. You're not going to be disappointed. He's a good dude. Seems like he's just on fire and has a great YouTube channel. A great YouTube channel. Not to mention, I think he's given away like 6 or 7 months of all of the tackle boxes to someone. And that's like unbelievable. I mean, I could do it if you wanted all this crap, but then I got to send it and do everything else. And that's a nightmare for me. So check out Shield Outdoors and check out, of course, Jeff Hammer, Topwater Johnny, Hank Snow Outdoors, Jason Beck Fishing. Check out all those guys. Support them because they're really part of the team. They're part of the group and all, the family that we have here. Hold on. I got to look at something. Oh, okay. Nothing important. So check them out. There's a lot of new upcoming closer looks. I'll be honest. I've worked my butt off recently doing closer looks. It is really, it's almost second to none. Send crap. I mean, if you want, I've got 7 boxes sitting behind me. You're going to see some great new upcoming closer looks, some great fishing stuff that we've got planned. I hope you like the new fishing stuff with the drone stuff. And I'm trying to do a little bit different, a little more creative, and try to have a little bit different than everything else. That's all. Editing a little bit different, but in terms of the new closer looks, I can tell you there's 6 or 7 or 8 already done. You're going to see one from the V&M Wild Shad here soon. You'll see one from the Stanley Vibra Shaft, which is a spinnerbait. You'll see the 13 Fishing Lizzie Lizard, which catches a whopper. You'll see the Grande Fishing Salty Dog Lizard, another great lizard that's on the market. A little bit light, but still really good. You'll see the Freedom Tackle Mischief Minnow, Picasso's Invisawire Rumbler Blade Spinnerbait, possibly the hardest word to say in succession, Picasso Invis-Wire Rumbler Blade Spinnerbait, and last but not least, the Yozuri 3DB Jerkbait is done and ready to go. So those are the upcoming closer looks. You can see behind me there's a bunch of other ones that are in the process of working. I also got, and you can't read this, and I'm glad you can't read it because I shouldn't have that on the board because that's an idea that I have that I'd rather not share with everybody. And there's swear words in it too. So an idea I have for later on in the year for some videos. So guys, I hope you enjoy this little update on what's going on with the show, the new episode, the new name, the whole new thing. And I appreciate y'all watching and being part of what I'm now calling you part. I used to call you guys the family. I think now I can call you the team. There's so many of you that comment, share, even teach me things that I don't know, that we're now a team. We're a group, a team. And hopefully I can help you, and you can continue to watch and hopefully enjoy the stuff that we have going on. We need a closer look at the whiteboard. Hold on. What do you think of the Big Bass Tour? I really want to fish that way out of my kayak on a Harris chain in February. My biggest fear is keeping a bass alive in a cooler. I'll have 2 bubblers, and my kayak does have a trolling motor. I think, Donald, if anyone can do it, you can do it. You're an amazing angler. And if you can, and really, if you come up here and need some help, I got some spots to help you with. I got a real good spot. I'll put you in touch with Bob, Chef Bob. He's the king of the Harris chain. He is. He's the king. So I'll get you in touch with him, and he can help you out. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you comment, watch this on YouTube, comment, tell me what you think. Tell me what you thought about the comments for National Pro Fishing or the Bass Elites. Who do you think is going to leave? Who's on your list? And really, if you say somebody, why? Why would you think they would leave? I know there's some guys that are never leaving. I know that for a fact. I know there's some guys that are unbelievably happy. Your Justin Lucas is insanely happy. Shaw Grigsby, Kevin Van Dam, those guys, they're not leaving. They're owners and stuff like that. But there's some of those other guys, the Jason Christie. I wouldn't be surprised. That's the truth. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jason go back to the elites. That's the God's honest truth. He's fishing all of the opens. That gives him an opportunity for them to request him to come back. And I think he wants to come back. I don't know that firsthand because I don't talk to him. But it makes a little bit of sense for him. That's just my opinion. Just like it made sense for Brandon Palaniuk to come back. Or Gerald Swindle. It does make some sense. Some of these guys are meant, and their mentality is to catch 5 big fish. So you do fish differently. So we'll see who comes back, and I can't wait to talk more about it. I got to say thank you and congratulations first and foremost to Fat Cat Newton, my boy. I'm happy to see that you got on that National Pro Fishing League tour. I don't know Luke, but congratulations to Luke too. But I hope you guys are having a blessed day, and thank you for watching. We'll be back on next week. We'll have an interview with Al McCullough from the National Professional Fishing League, where he will be asked some tough questions. I know in the past I have lollygagged around some of the tough questions. It's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way this week. I have some questions, some rumors that I've heard that I want answers for. So I'm going to ask the questions that I think need to be answered. And I hope he's all right with it because it isn't a negative thing against him. But I think there's some questions we need to know because I want to know if there's room for a 4th league. That's the God's honest truth. So we'll talk to him. We'll have some other people on. I'm trying to get some other anglers on, and we'll just have fun. That's what this is about. I know I was shot out of a cannon at the beginning. Now I'm a little more relaxed. I was a little stressed out. Come home from swimming, and this is how it is. But I hope you guys have a blessed day. I need to say a couple thank yous to some people. I need to say thank you to Steve Diassi. If you don't know Steve Diassi, he makes some of the best art in the world. Go to stevediassi.com if you're interested in checking him out. I got to say thanks to AIG and their amazing insurance that they have. Oh, Fat Cat is going to win like 6 championships. Yeah, I want to see how that whole works out. I got to thank Costa, Hook, all those guys for being behind us, Yamaha. And you guys, thank you. Thank you for being part of the team. Seriously. I really appreciate it. I try to say thank you as much as possible. Just to be honest, we're all the same. There's nothing different from me than you, other than I might be overweight. I'm probably fatter than you. So I have that against you. But you want to know what? We're all fishermen. So we got to all get along. So remember, let's do a few things. Take a kid fishing. Catch your fish on. We will see you soon. Cheers, guys.